Seconds, come on. What happens at 0?
Hey fellas, how are you all going?
0 explodes.
The largest Brady Bunch face the Zoom meeting ever. So we've got 2 quads that we're raffling off tonight. We've got the Source 1 in 6S, and it is Emax motors. They're the 1700 kV, so that's the red one. Whoever wins the first raffle will get to choose which one they want, and then the blue one is your 4S. I'll bring up a screen, and before we get into this, we're just going to donate some money. I'll bring up the share screen. So you can see on this spreadsheet that we've got everyone who's been in the raffle on the left here. And what the total funds were, $730. And total was about 150 tickets. So pretty good chance of winning. And in the orders for the raffle, if you made an order from the 22nd of March to 22nd of April, between these 2 order numbers, that will get you in the draw to win the other one. Let's fix this waiting room. There we go. All right, so let's donate some money. Coast Shelter, I drive past these guys every day on the way to work. They look after people who are on the street or need help, get booted out of their home and whatnot. And they're always doing some good things.
What's going on, Reece?
Hey, Timmy, how you doing?
Oh, we good? What's happening?
We are donating $750.
Cool. Did you already do your raffle?
Not yet.
It's next.
Can you see me, or am I like...
Yeah, we can see.
I don't know what's going on. I'm at Air and Affair.
Can I hear you?
I don't even know.
Oh, it's hot warming.
Got to get the Mother's Day shopping done.
That's for Saturday, isn't it?
Nice.
Got to build a shed on Saturday. How many people are on this stream?
We have 30
26 of them.
Cool.
What? Giraffe.
You cut.
Who wants to see my credit card number?
Just text it to me, Reece.
I already know it.
This is a bit dangerous.
My dad already told me it, man.
This is hella risky.
Just a little bit. Just type it really fast.
Someone's got a screenshot.
Show us your type and skills.
Isn't there like a record button on Zoom? Just like
I'm
right
pretty
there.
sure you have 3. You've got 3 screens. Just share another screen, Reece.
Is there anything from here?
Hiding on the other screen.
Don't touch.
That's a really short CCV.
Oh, you got cat butt coming.
Pardon, buddy.
Alrighty. So, thanks for everyone for the raffle. We have donated that. There's the proof. So let's do the first raffle.
Oh, fuck, no, I didn't. I'll go get him.
So we have 748 tickets numbered here. 1 and
You want to get down?
7:48.
Oh, she wants to get down, babe.
Here we go.
Like jumping off me.
Number 32.
Hey Mel, how are
Lucky 32.
32 is this person here.
Chris H.
Who that?
Houlahan.
Houlahan? Yeah.
Is he here?
Yeah, Chris Houlahan. Let's go.
These orders so often.
He's not here?
I know, that's just how you put the drink in.
Alright, he's not speaking up. Alright, we're going to the next one. Here we go.
Sneaky, sneaky.
3, 5. 2, 1, 2. The first order. They probably don't even know.
First order.
Martin Pritchard.
It's probably some Master Air Screw DJI props or something. They've just won this big racing drone.
He ordered a Charger and an XT60. So we'll have to let him know that he's won a Forest build. All right. So congrats to those people. So I just wanted to let you know, guys, that at 7:45. 7:45, we're gonna do a YouTube premiere. So Shannon will be building this quad. As well as that, we have made a guide on all the parts you need. So I'm gonna chuck that up in the chat here now. Where is it?
Oh, he's even wearing his t-shirt.
Yeah, perfect, isn't it? Be. Meant to be.
Does anyone know? Oh, here's the chat. You're all spamming. All right, if everyone wants to click that link and have a look.
So that's pretty much got all the components from if you're starting out to if it's just another build, isn't it, Reese?
Yep. So if you've got nothing at all, this has the whole list. So goggle options, radio options, chargers, and whatnot. And then we've we've split it up into 3 areas. So you might need solder or some zip ties or some props, and then there's the core build as well. So keep that open when you go through the YouTube. That'll be a part reference list.
Just one.
And should be good.
Rise, you're a legend, man. I'm so stoked.
Yeah, congratulations.
So stoked, man. So stoked.
We're
Now
gonna
you
build
just
the
have to upload
3S.
some videos for
For
us.
Yeah, check out my Instagram page. Hooligan FTV.
You deserve to win, mate. You're the only one wearing your shirt.
Yeah, I know.
I'm wearing mine. Or that's not a staff member, I guess.
You have to. You're at work.
Yeah. Voluntary.
So
Don't tell them how many orders I've done.
yeah, I'll keep that a secret. We've done this build
I
video
think you should tell us.
in 360.
I'm sure I still win.
Yeah, Tim wins by far.
So when it goes live, you'll be able to drag around your mouse and look at all the components as he's moving everything. As well as that, we're going to do a Betaflight setup guide. So on Friday or Monday, we'll release part 2 of the video, and you'll be able to follow on for that. As well as that, Nicholas is the one person left in the waiting room. Everyone who has joined tonight has 10% off for the next 24 hours.
What?
There's a coupon code.
Hey, when are your next 4 blades coming in? Are they coming in soon? The oh my gods.
Oh my God, what?
The 4-play
Oh my god. 4-play props.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, they're on order. So
Oh my god.
I think they've shipped from HQ. I'm not sure. I'll have to check that one.
Yeah, drop your Instagram in the chat, Hooligan.
It's just Hooligan. I don't know how to do that. It's just Hooligan _FPV.
Go to your
YouTube?
page, highlight it and go Control A, click in this track and go Control C, enter.
I found it here. I'll drop
on
it
the
in the
phone.
chat. I was spelling it wrong. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Fly,
Hold
you can
it.
fly a
Dropped
drone.
it in the chat.
All right, so yeah, if you look in the chat, there's the 10% coupon live stream 7 for the next 24 hours only. So make sure you copy that. And for the next 10-15 minutes, we'll do some Q&A. So if anyone
There's
has
a mother
have any
of babies.
questions,
Yes. How do I fix that? So I'm missing the poll. That's what I was asking you about today.
I probably need
Missing
to
a standoff.
missing a standoff. Yeah, you'll probably need to measure the length of it, and
Yeah,
then you'll need
35
to
mil. Like,
all
you
right.
can't get them. Apparently, you guys can't get them. So
probably
buy a
just
set of
search
smaller
online.
ones.
AliExpress or Bangers, or if you go on eBay and just type 35 mil standoff, you'll find people selling them in Australia.
yeah, so
Can't-
I
you can't go
couldn't find
smaller as
any in
well.
Australia. I could only find China. It's like freaking 2 months nearly or something.
The other
But-
option
find
is
the
you get
rest.
a hacksaw and you buy one longer and just cut it.
I was about to ask that. Awesome.
Yeah.
But other than that, can I move that down to the back and then
The
just
video
put shorter
transmitter?
ones on and like chop the carbon at the front, wherever it is, there. Just like chop it so it fits.
You can
Just
do
take your
that.
VTX off and mount it at the back. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do with all my ones.
Yeah, you can do that. That'll work.
I don't know if you can see. VTX always mounted at the back.
A question.
Oh, boys, get him out. Get him out.
Come on, boys. Far away.
Are you related to Alex Evans?
No, I'm not. I don't know Alex.
That guy's ripped.
GoPro 7 or GoPro 8?
GoPro 8. So 8 and 6 are the only ones that work well with real steady. So a 6 or
What
an
about
8.
that Insta?
You
What about
prefer
that
the
Insta
1R over
360?
all of them, though, don't you?
Say again, if you all talk at the same time, we can't hear.
You prefer the
put your hand
1R over all of them, don't you?
For filming, I haven't used the 1R on a rig yet, so I wouldn't recommend that. An 8 or a 6, I'd go with. Yeah, or Runcam 5 budget option. What's on the board, Alex?
Alex.
Oh, he's typing in chat. Is Jim Wall. Never heard of
He
it.
should speak to Maddie Clark. I'm
Do you
sure
put
those
reps
two
and
get
stuff on it? Each mark is a set that sucked.
Is Brad all right?
Fair enough.
I think he's asleep.
Yeah, there he is.
Brad looks like he's had a few cones.
Yeah, looks like it. They're doing live chat pretty. This is with all these people like Zoom. It's a Zoom meeting. There's my daughter.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
So who's your favourite staff member, not including me?
Who does all the shipping there to get the parts out the fastest?
Well,
Depends what day.
yeah, there's
And who-
3 people and they're a bit of a rotation.
Yeah. Hey,
I
do
have
you
a
have
question.
a?
We see Piper.
Is Piper here?
I locked her up. She was being a nuisance.
Oh,
How's everyone going with the Australia Post?
bad. I changed to Sendle and Go Logistics.
That's saying something, isn't it?
So,
I haven't
I'm
had a-
so
I'm still waiting Perth, like order week and a half, and I send it express. But I know it's not you guys. It's just Australia Post at the moment. It's ridiculous.
yeah, we've upgraded any Western Australia or Tassie, we've upgraded to express automatically, but we're still seeing like it can be delayed a week or two. because if it's expressed to WA, they only got a plane that goes every so often at the moment. So, and they've got a massive backlog. So, yeah, stuff can just go missing sometimes as well. Like we have Australia Post bags that they leave us, like hundreds of them, and we were packing up our goods to give to the posties yesterday, and we found 2 parcels in the bottom of the bag. So
Oh, no way.
when they empty the bags, they've just missed 2, and so this person has 2 parcels that have been missing for a couple of weeks, and now it'll be there soon now because we found it.
Yeah, this is why it can take up to 3 to 4 weeks to actually resolve a missing parcel, because they do
That's why
eventually turn
sometimes
up.
they can just appear out of nowhere, because stuff like that happens all the time, I reckon.
Everyone's a bit question shy at the moment.
How do you stop crashing?
Yeah, you
Do
won't
it in
find
a
the answer in this
simulator.
crap.
More on the
In this
simulator.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
I don't have a sim.
I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's a good nano camera mount for a little whoop build?
3D printed.
Yeah.
Are
TPU.
they not too heavy? Like
Only a
it's
couple
only a
grams.
little tiny 2S book.
Yeah, no, I've got a HX100 SE, and that runs. It's just a 1S biblade little quad. And
Yeah.
were you the one that sent the email today?
Yeah, well,
That's
I picked up a Cadex, what was it, the baby Ratel or whatever, and a Unify Pro 32. I'm
Yep.
just trying to figure out how to mount it the best way.
Yeah, there's a little 3D printed adapter you can get. Actually, you know what I did for mine is I used one of the TPU canopies we sell for the Beta 65, and I
Yeah, okay.
drilled 2 holes in the side of it. And
Oh,
then
just
used
put
those
bolts through it.
Yeah, just put bolts through it, and that allowed me to sort of adjust the angle a little bit.
Yeah,
And
cool.
because it's TPU, you can then kind of stretch it back out to mount on top of the stack again.
Yeah, right. That's the go.
But yeah,
I've
it's
got a
got
question.
Nano 2 in it.
Just hang on the questions for a sec. Got a few in the chat here that I didn't see before. So transmitters, T16, they're about 3 to 4 weeks away. Tango 2 should be here in 1 to 2 weeks. And we're also getting the Radio Master one in, so that'll be middle of June. So there's
Do you
3.
have enough?
We do have a new beta FPV transmitter that's really good for beginners, $79, FrySky compatible. That's also an option. I've got another question here. Best 6S packs. The R-Line 1050s or 1300s is probably the best, or the Bonkers. And you've got the Rebels as well. They're all pretty similar. They're all using really good cells. Does the Insta360 new drone mount fit this build? So yes, it does. All our Insta360 mounts at the moment are designed for 4K camera only. So not the 360 twin lens. I believe we have that for Apex, Source One, and a couple of others. We can do the others as well if people need them. Just shoot us through a message. KISS or Raceflight or Betaflight? Raceflight, we've stopped doing. So we're not buying their FCs or frames anymore. They're just too hard to deal with, too hard to get stock, and it's a nightmare. KISS is still good. We're still buying their stuff. Betaflight is obviously what 90% of people use, but all right.
Never used KISS.
More video questions. Who is next?
I was just going to ask a question about. I've got MCK 1800 kV motors on my 6S build, and it's happened to a couple of mine. When I wrap it on, it stutters a little bit, and I don't know if that's motor filtering or it's like the ESC is not getting enough power to the motors, or it feels like prop wash a little bit. But I can't.
Is this while you're hovering or in the air?
Now, while it's hovering, it's fine, but as soon as I give it full juice, it just like stutters.
Yeah, that's probably a PID issue. Is it,
Yeah,
just
right.
is it just the one motor or it's the whole thing?
The whole thing. Well, when I put it on the bench, it all sounds fine on the bench. But when I take it outside, and I've been lowering the hertz down to about 70 now on both on the gyro and the other one, and it's improved it a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, I'd say it's PID related.
Even TPA.
Get RPM filtering and get that on there as well, and try and use the new 4.2 that's coming out in, I think, a few days. There's some awesome stuff that they're bringing out in that, and should resolve a lot of those issues. As well as that, the Betaflight tuning guide. So what kind of quad do you have? Is it a Source 1?
I've got no, it's the Steel Apex, but I'm using the Brain FPV Radix Li, the 30x30, and the Acon 55 amp ESC.
Okay. So yeah, try those, and in the Betaflight 4.2 tuning guide, they'll have some dumps. So you can just dump a CLI for freestyle or racing. So freestyle with GoPro is probably what you want. And that should work. If you're still having it after then it might just need the PIDs to come down a little.
Yeah. There's also a thing called TPA in Betaflight. If you have a really tightly tuned quadcopter, like if you have a very locked in quad, changing the TPA midpoint can stop it from getting high oscillations when you full throttle.
Basically what that does is as you hit over 1500 on your throttle, it will dial down your PIDs automatically.
Yeah. And it stops the noise.
Yeah, I've never really played around with the PIDs. I play around with the rates and all that sort of stuff, but not the PIDs. Haven't really gone that far into it. It flies good.
Yeah, the rates will, as only for your remote and how fast it spins and whatnot. But yeah, the PIDs can make a huge difference in how it performs, like in terms of how loose it feels or how locked in it feels in the air. And when you get the vibrations, you've gone too much on the locked in feel. So you need to dial it back.
TPA can help make you pull it back without having to pull it back. And Stinger Swarm does a really good job on teaching you how to PID tune. That's how I learned.
Okay. Cheers for that.
I'll find the video, I can link it.
Chuck the link in the chat.
And what else was it?
Got a question here. Did I say Tango 2 is in 2 weeks? Yep, about that. Yeah, that's a good point. In the new Betaflight, there's a PID slider now. So I think it's 4.2 they've introduced this. So instead of changing all the PIDs, you can basically just drag the slider down. So one guy's saying 0.7 to 0.6, try that. You just try it with 0.1 increments and see how the change happens.
Another thing, when I try to upgrade the firmware on the Brain FPV, it hasn't got the Brain FPV Radix in there, like on the list.
Yeah, you need to go to the Brain website, and then they've got a whole bunch of the custom logos, and you need to pick one of those, and then you can click on that one, and then it takes you to download for each of the stable Betaflight versions that they support.
They're also sometimes they're a bit behind as well in the firmware. They can be a couple of weeks behind.
Because they add all their own custom graphical OSD firmware magic to it as well. So that's why they don't have that in the normal Betaflight list.
Vardy's corrected me as well. 4.1 has that PID slider, so that's when the PID slider came in. So if you got before 4.1, you might not have that.
Sweet as. Thanks, guys. Who's next?
We've got about 5 minutes till my free Zoom session finishes.
What's that PID slider exactly? That 4.1 has? Because I haven't used 4.1 yet.
Yeah, basically now, MK, you know how you put in all your numbers for your PIDs? You automatically set it and set the correct ratios. So you just drag a slider.
No way.
And it changes all the numbers for you.
Makes it so much easier to tune, especially when you got like RPM filtering. You could just drag everything down and then you slowly increase it all together and fiddle around.
But that's in the
We should
latest
get
Betaflight.
Ben yeah, we should get
4.1.
Ben to write a quick blog on the basics of like how he does all his RPM filtering and tuning and stuff.
Yeah, put it on his to-do list. He'll love it.
Yep. He'll get it done in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, someone just said the video is from 2017 and that the PID tuning is not relevant. I haven't used the latest Betaflights, FYI, so that's how I still tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hassle Ben. We'll get him to write a blog first.
We've got a question from Alex Evans. What's the difference between angle, horizon, and which one's best for whoop racing? Most whoop races are still flying on angle, believe it or not, or horizon. So the difference between angle and horizon is that angle you have limited, is a quad. Angle you have limited movement, so you can only go that far or you can only go that far, so you can't do complete rolls or flips. Horizon is the same as auto level in which it auto levels, but you can do full rolls.
Yeah, so if you hold the stick down, it won't just be limited to the angle, it'll keep doing a flip.
And then
I think there's
acro
acro trainer.
Acro is if you push it down, it's just going to hold that line. If you let go of the stick, it's not going to auto level.
Is that dependent on the angle of the camera input that you've put into Betaflight?
That's a good question.
No, angle mode is
Yeah, that is a
dependent
good
on
question.
the limits set in the where you do your PIDs. There's also those limits of how far.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Over.
So what does the camera angle actually change in Betaflight? Do you know?
I did. I don't use it, so I kind of forget.
No
Yeah,
one
I don't
sets
use it
either.
Yeah, I don't use it at all.
It's that mystery value.
Somebody needs to look at the source code and find out.
Oh, could it possibly do with the horizon?
Maybe.
Can't remember.
Yeah, the OSD horizon.
Yeah, the OSD horizon as to what's actually level. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It changes how it turns? Someone said. No. What, so you don't do mixed input? So your changes, is that right?
Maybe it changes your mix.
Yeah, it just adds a bit of a mix to it.
That would be cool.
Mockingbird Emu Flight is doing a new thing. They call it I can't remember. It's something like race angle. So it's still got auto level on your roll, but your pitch is acro. So you've got like a combo happening there. I had a go of it. It's pretty cool. Bit different. You have to get used to it.
Can you explain that again? Because I just blanked.
So you know how in angle you're auto leveling all axes?
Yeah.
Well, this new mode basically auto levels your roll, so you let your roll go in auto level, but your pitch is on acro.
Oh,
So you can just keep
Hold
flipping.
the line.
Oh, so you can.
Pretty
Yeah, that's
much.
right. So you can hold a race line at the same speed.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That would be
That's
awesome
kind of
for
like-
indoor whooping.
It's kind of like on a jet plane where you set the throttle to a certain amount forward and then you leave it.
Yep.
So is that mode is that available?
Yeah, I'll Google it for you now.
That's on Emu Flight apparently. I don't know what that is.
Oh, Emu Fly. Right.
I want to know the answer to that last question too.
Emu.
Sounds risky.
Are all you guys racers or freestylers or what?
I'm a crasher.
I do freestyling crashing.
Yeah.
I
want to know.
prefer just long, relaxing flights. Long range sort of stuff.
That mode on Emu Flight's called NFE Racer Mode.
Yeah, right.
That's on Emu Flight,
Yeah.
as Bot Grinder says it.
There's also Acro Trainer, which is like somewhere in between Horizon and Acro, I think. It's like a really slow kind of thing.
So where do you
dangerous.
where that other person just asked the same
just
question
got-
I was going to ask? How do you increase the angle limit so it can essentially fly faster in a straight line?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in
That's in the PIDs, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, that's in the PIDs page.
the PID page.
You have to. I think you have to click advanced or expert settings. I think there's a
Yeah.
like a little switch on the top right hand side.
Yeah.
I'll plug,
What's
When-
for
and-
dinner, Callum?
I'll plug this quad in and show you.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. I can only see one for acro mode, I think it is, or acro training angle limit.
Yeah, so I think acro training is practically, I think, replacing Horizon. I'm not uncertain. Or they're trying to make it replace Horizon. I don't know.
I found a Reddit thread. Let's look through this.
Oh, I give up looking for information. It's so out of date all the time.
Yeah, it's constantly evolving.
Yeah, this one's constantly saying PID tuning tab angle limit is what it's called.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Angle horizon, 50%. Oh, I gotta get my Betaflight out of the way.
Angle limit.
That's Betaflight 3.5.
Whoa. That's
Because I'm
old.
like this. I'm like, this looks really old.
Yeah, this is on a stock CTR, isn't it? Yeah, the Maytech one.
I mean, some people really like old Betaflight. Like for whoops, they fly better.
Really?
See, I just don't
Yeah,
upgrade my stuff. I just it flies good and then I leave it.
Yeah,
And I'm
Yeah,
constantly
we're talking really old
upgrading,
hardware.
constantly building.
Look at
Is that like brushed whoops? Or...
Yeah, like brushed whoops that are like that really underpowered, and you don't
Yeah.
even want to have filtering on them at all. With brushless loops, they can react faster, so they're better. So they can use dynamic filtering and all the cool features.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
What's for dinner, Callum?
Me,
Yeah.
honey mustard chicken.
Oh, nice. So how many quads does everybody have? Like, what's their... I know it's an addiction. The wives aren't listening.
It is an
Okay.
addiction.
So today, my friend asked me which quads do I have that are FPV, and I was like, oh, I don't have many. And then I started listing the ones so he could have an idea. And
Literally
oh
about
man, I
to-
felt so bad.
It
The
happens.
list
Don't
got-
worry.
The list just got so long. I'm just like, yeah. And then there's like these Leader 120s that I bought in 2017, and then I just went back and I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Usually the first question I ask after someone asks that is how many like that are working or in total, and that usually sort of filters it down to either like 2 or 3 or.
I've got like
5
6
fully
working on it
functional.
all.
After
I
2
think
months
that's
of building and learning, I've got 12 that are all still working.
That's
Yeah.
impressive. You mustn't be
Clearly
flying.
No.
Yeah.
You might have
Nah.
seen my recent one, the white
love the
builds that I
white
did with all the
Oh yeah, I saw
Really?
that. Yeah.
yeah,
It looks really cool.
it
Is
worked
that a
out really
light
well.
on there in there?
Oh, I've got it plugged into Betaflight at the moment.
Oh, I was like, how is it powered? I can't see a battery.
No,
Hey,
I'm
what's
just having a
everyone's
look.
go-to antennas?
Trust,
I've got
Whatever
I got
phaser
some
tells me.
TBS.
Lydia.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
And
Lydia.
Hey, Sean.
Lollipops.
TBS stubby on the back, like it.
I've got this
Yeah,
one here.
Triumphs are good.
There's
Oh,
one
really
those
little
are
ones.
the new skins.
Little ones.
I started making a few receiver antennas. They've been going pretty good. Just skewed planar, like 4-blade receiver antennas.
Is this long range or?
Is it-
Bring one up.
Has everyone gone Crossfire? Or like, 'cause I'm still on bloody FR Sky.
Same. I'm still on an FR Sky.
My first one wasn't Crossfire, and now everything that I own is Crossfire.
Yeah.
After
Correct.
Reese starts stocking the new radios, I think I'm gonna move to Crossfire slowly.
You'll love it just in terms of the integration and how easy it is to like when you first bind
Bind.
it, it'll automatically update the receiver.
Oh wow!
And then as soon as if you plug in your Crossfire module into your computer and then power your quad up, you can then adjust the settings on the Crossfire receiver that's on the quad wirelessly.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
There's
right.
just so many good features about it. Like you can adjust your Crossfire Nano that's hooked up to your Crossfire Nano BTX through your Crossfire receiver, which is then bound to your Crossfire transmitter plugged into your computer. So there's just so many good features and integration features about it that make it really good and worthwhile.
Is it just as good on micros,
Alright, I'll
like
buy
the
one.
tiny quads?
With the latest, the Immortal Mini antenna, I think that there's no reason why you wouldn't put it on now, because that was the one limiting factor before, like the size of the antennas.
Yeah,
But
that's
with this
what
smaller antenna now, it like this is one of my quads here. You can't even see it, but that's the antenna there. That's the Crossfire antenna.
That's
that
so
little
cool.
twig. Like that's how small they are now. And you can, with those, they're rated up to 2 kilometers, but like they've flown further than that. They've said so.
Yeah, so your VTX will probably cut out first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's pretty much, you've now got the same signal quality that you would have had with a stock FR Sky system, just with a tiny receiver and antenna now. So.
Well, this is my tiny antenna and receiver there, and like I was out with my mate the other day in a big stone quarry, and he had the Crossfire as well, and his kept on saying telemetry lost, and like it didn't drop out of the sky, but it was just as good as the FR Sky. But I'm sure, line of sight for long distance Crossfires all over it.
How many hertz was he running?
Oh, I don't know, man. Oh, sorry, no, 500.
Oh, yeah.
500, yeah. That's what he's got set up on all of his 500. So.
Yeah, usually that has more penetration. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't see justify with FR Sky and everything, and it all works fine. So if it ain't broke,
But that's another
try
thing.
and
Like
fix
that could just be a bad antenna on the quad or anything like that, or just a bad position of antenna on his.
Yeah, we've got a guy, a local to us, who lives over in Switzerland for like half the year, and he makes his own custom linear Crossfire antennas that are like this long, and he'll just mount them out the back of his long range rigs. You've probably heard of him, Peter Jerry. I'll find one of his videos that he does. But
Did anyone see that video on Instagram a couple of days ago? It was called mountain surfing, and I swear this bloke, he just took off from the car park. You see, as he takes off, he sort of flies past himself, and there's mountains in the background. You're thinking, no way he's going to fly all the way out there.
Yeah.
And he goes all the way out there, over the top, and then come all the way back, because obviously, he had 1800 milliamp battery running on a 4S, I think, and I just couldn't believe the range.
Just kept the RPMs low or at a certain point, and probably had bi-blades that are really efficient.
Yeah,
I
I'd
saw-
say so. This is a long way.
Yeah, I saw Johnny FPV's videos, and they're amazing in that snowy Alps. Ridiculous.
you
Has
should
he the
take a look at the
Gold Coast? Is
YouTube
the
channel
parachuter?
that I just put out. The in the chat. That's one of the locals. But yeah, all his videos look like Johnny's kind of mountain videos. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
I need some better scenery around from where I am. Is anyone from WA in here?
Sydney here.
Melbourne.
All right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up. YouTube is now live on that build video. Feel free to join us in the chat. And
I've got a YouTube channel too.
You guys are welcome to keep chatting here if you like.
Yeah, plug your YouTubes. I'll subscribe to you guys. Throw them in.
Phaser FPV. Quick Google.
I'll subscribe to that first.
All right, I'll try and find it. There we go.
Everyone subscribes to Phaser.
Everyone already is subscribed to Phaser.
Can you pass the host over, Reese, so you can leave, or?
Yeah, I'll take over from here, guys. It's okay. So, my YouTube channel.
Holy crap! Turn around and look at his